as the number of verifiable lies coming from the White House seemingly goes continuously up, like a roller coaster, with none of the fun, stomach in your throat, feel like you're going to puke parts. I would argue that these are extraordinary political times, even more chaotic than Gary Busey trying to spell chaotic. K-A-Y-O-T-I, I don't know, K-A-A-O-T-I-C, K-C-H-A-O-T-I-C. The dumpster fire in the Oval Office now demands liberal Americans and Trump supporters who regret their vote to be more vigilant and more politically active. And Trump voters, if you don't regret your vote yet, I promise you will. Probably right about the day you discover that Benjamin Franklin's face on the $100 bill has been replaced with Yakov Smirnoff's. And lots of Americans have answered the call. People now regularly call their congressman, and not just to yell Baba Booey. Citizens make signs, go to demonstrations, they watch more news, they read more analysis, they join Facebook groups, and in my case, write a kick-ass 80s style anti-Trump protest song. Rock you like a trumpet cane! Moving on. In these extraordinary times, it is imperative that all branches of the opposition remain vigilant, including the media.
The last question on this, sir, and I'm sorry, you're not answering the question, which is, were you aware that the transition team had put in for a security clearance?
However, there is one group of reporters in particular who've taken their eye off the ball.
The president has referred to particular job reports as phony or totally fiction. Does the president believe that this jobs report was accurate and a fair way to measure the economy?
Yeah, I talked to the president prior to this, and he said, to quote him very clearly, they may have been phony in the past, but it's very real now.
Laughing at and normalizing President Shitstorm's discount house of lies was the first sign that some of the reporters who cover the White House have clearly forgotten the essential role that they play in our democracy. 5 days a week, Sean Spicer holds a press conference. And just like sex, women think it lasts about 2 minutes. Guys think it so totally can go all night. In fact, it's the guaranteed 1 hour each day for the press to demand answers and to rub disinfectant or some kind of salve or ointment onto the gaping, pus-festering open sore that is Trump's White House. So I wanted to know if there was anything else destructive to the American democracy, besides normalizing insanity, that the White House reporters were doing. So, to find out, I watched 10 hours of Sean Spicer press conferences. And yes, my retinas do fucking burn, but my team of doctors, scientists, and eyebrow stylists say it should all clear up in 4 to 8 years. Anyway, I made a bigly discovery watching these press conferences. Way too many White House reporters are not paying attention to the questions and the answers because they are on their goddamn fucking phones. Christ, even people at the movies know to turn off their phones. Even for the trailers. Even if it's a trailer for Fast and the Furious 10, because they know that it is a distraction. And if the phone can distract you from understanding that movie's plot, car goes fast. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Explosion, explosion. Gratuitous boob shot. Gratuitous ass shot. Explosion. The end. Imagine how distracting the phone is when your job is to listen to the mouthpiece for the president as he very quickly tries to sneak by you that Border Patrol agents carrying AK-47s are going to break down your door and drag your 70-something Guatemalan nanny back to the Mexico border. Or how your grandmother is going to need a casket lickety-split because she now has to choose between affording her Werther's butterscotch drops and her diabetes medicine. And for her, by the way, the choice is a no-brainer. Here's the facts. Study after scientific study has confirmed with 100% absolute certainty, cell phone usage distracts from whatever else you're doing. 3,000 drivers distracted by their phone die every year while driving on U.S. highways. In 2014, Time magazine reported that, quote, just having it visible nearby may distract you from complex tasks. Adding, your focus is not on the task at hand, whether it be trying to write an article, get a spreadsheet set up, or just socializing. Your mind is elsewhere. In 2015, Forbes magazine reported, and I'm quoting, "Just receiving a notification on your cell phone can cause enough of a distraction to impair your ability to focus on a given task." And look, I didn't just see reporters on their phone a couple of times. Some of them are on their phone nearly every time the camera cuts to them during the press conferences. One reporter in particular was on her phone the most. CBS's White House correspondent, Margaret Brennan. In fact, nearly the only time Brennan was not on her phone was when she was asking Sean Spicer a question.
Are you saying that there is a possibility he is the target of a counterintelligence probe involving Russia?
I don't know. The
You
answer...
just connected those two.
No. I think what I'm saying is that there is a difference between that narrative and then the narrative that has been...
However, the minute she got her answer, and I swear this is real, she was right back on her phone.
Seem to acknowledge that the president was wrong when he tweeted that 122 prisoners released by the Obama administration from Gitmo had...
And what was she doing? Well, some of the time, she was on Twitter. On March 10th, the White House press briefing was held from 10:45 a.m. to 11:45. And as you can see by the timestamp, she was live tweeting. Only here's the thing. The White House briefing room is not the People's Choice Awards red carpet. She's the White House correspondent for CBS News trying to determine if Russia hacked the U.S. election. Seems like you'd want to pay attention. She's not Ryan Seacrest trying to determine what the fuck Bjork is wearing. Margaret Brennan was also retweeting other White House correspondents who were also at the press conference. Here's a tweet from ABC's John Karl, and seconds later it was retweeted by Margaret Brennan. If she really wanted to know what John Karl was up to, it would have been a lot easier for her to lean over and ask him. He was sitting one seat away. I have worked in TV for 20 years. And there's two things that I am 100% certain of. One, Americans love to laugh at Kevin James riding a Segway. And two, CBS can afford a Twitter intern so their reporters can focus on what is important, like fact-checking the president's lies, not getting more Twitter followers. And in case I have not been clear, what Americans need now from the people who cover the White House is, and we're not asking that much, just 100% of their attention for the 1 hour where Sean Spicer is trying to defend that which is indefensible. And here's the other thing, quite frankly. Margaret Brennan isn't entirely to blame. She's been forced into an untenable position. We viewers have short attention spans. We demand information right this second. Otherwise, we change the channel or click to another website. And that's our fault, and we should do better. We say we want information fast, but what we really mean is we like it accurate. Two other things. Number one, I reached out to CBS News, Margaret Brennan, and the White House Correspondents Association. Only the White House Correspondents Association got back to me. I wanted to know what their thought was about using the telephone during the press conferences. And the White House Correspondents Association's comment was, we decline to comment. Also, I would like to add that there are many, many reporters covering the press conferences that I never saw on their phones, not even once. That is it. You can see all of our other shows at factbox.tv. There's more than 50 hours of original programs, all factual entertainment, and it's all, I'm not kidding, 100% free. I will see you next time on Be Less Stupid.